In a small village named Oma lived the most beautiful of maidens with the perfect face and body. Oma is a very peaceful village, and hardly did anyone fight in this village. The most beautiful maiden in Oma town was judged by how long, beautiful, and silky their hair is. This made the people of Oma to put so much effort in growing and styling their hair in order to be chosen as the most beautiful maiden who will get married to the village prince and become the queen one day. The maidens gave their hair so much care. They spent their time combing their hair to make it more beautiful. The ladies would always look for new remedies to make their hair more beautiful and longer. They knew all the ways to make their hair so long. They used rice water, turmeric paste, onion water, coconut oil, aloe vera, and many more. The maidens knew it all. Out of all the maidens in the village, the one with the longest and most beautiful hair was Adama. Adama's beautiful hair is genetic. She inherited it from her mother. Her hair was so long, silky, and beautiful. The other maidens all admired Adama's long hair. They all wished their hair was as long as hers and would look for recipes to make their hair long. The men in the village loved Adama's hair and dreamt of making Adama theirs, but that is impossible because as long as her hair remains the longest, she would get married to the prince. Adama's hair was the longest, seconded by Chisom. Chisom also has a very long hair, but it wasn't as long as Adama's hair, and Chisom was jealous of this. Her hair was just an inch away from Adama's. She looked for several ways to make her hair longer than Adama's hair, but to no avail, as Adama's hair remained the longest. Uchechi had the shortest hair in the village, and this made other maidens laugh at her. They would always tease her, asking her why her hair is so short. They would gossip amongst themselves, saying, "As a maiden, why would her hair be that short? Doesn't she want to participate in the competition of becoming the prince's bride?" But Uchechi didn't care. She wasn't bothered about her hair. She just wanted to live a comfortable life, so she worked so hard in the farm. One day, a professional hairstylist came into the village. Her name is Emumu. She got a space for herself in the village and decorated it so beautifully. She went around telling the ladies to come and beautify their hair in her shop. The ladies were all scared of Emumu touching their hair because she was a stranger and they didn't know her. But Uchechi, the maiden with the second most longest hair, was desperate. She wanted her hair to be longer than Adama's hair at all costs, so she went to Emu's shop. Please guys, I tagged a fellow storyteller below. Her stories are incredible, beautiful stories, yeah? So please check her page out and follow her. Emu was so happy to see Uchechi. When she saw Uchechi's hair, she became happier. Uchechi begged her not to disappoint her. She wants her hair to be more beautiful than Adama's hair, and Emu promised to make her hair beautiful. After Emu finished braiding Uchechi's hair, Uchechi couldn't believe her eyes. She looked so beautiful. She has never been this beautiful, she thought to herself. She paid Emu and left the shop, smiling happily, while Emu was secretly smiling evilly. The other maidens couldn't believe how beautiful Uchechi has become after getting her hair done in Emu's shop. She was so beautiful, more beautiful than Adama, the maiden with the longest hair. Uchechi walked round the village with pride, while Adama stared at her with envy and jealousy. The other maidens had a meeting and decided to beautify their hair in the hands of Emu. 4 days after Uchechi made her hair in the hands of Emu, something happened. She suddenly woke up one morning feeling like something is wrong. She walked past a mirror and saw that she has become bald. Her long and beautiful hair was gone. She didn't understand what was going on. She thought she was dreaming. Her hair was the most beautiful. Where has it disappeared to? She thought. Along with her hair, her beauty was gone. There was nothing on her hair, not a strand of hair. Along with her hair, her beauty was also gone. She has become dark and ugly. Uchechi broke down with tears. She traced the incident to Emu, the hair braider, who braided her hair. She tied a scarf and headed to Emu's shop. Chisom's long and beautiful hair has disappeared. She's now bald. She tied a scarf and headed to Emu's shop to question her of what she did to her hair. On getting to Emu's shop, Chisom saw Adama, the maiden with the longest and most beautiful hair there, braiding her hair in the hands of Emu. Chisom became shocked. She didn't know what to do. whether to stop Adama or not. She wanted to stop Adama so her hair would be saved, but on a second thought, she was scared her bald head will be seen by Adama, who will reveal it to the entire village, and she will be disqualified from participating in the competition of becoming the prince's bride. So she stopped herself from telling Adama and called Emu, the hairstylist, to a corner to question her. Emu already knew why Chisom came looking for her, but she said nothing. Emu, what did you do to my beautiful hair? Where has it vanished to? Chisom screamed at Emu, boiling in anger. Emu pretended like she was confused at first, and then she said, "Oh, I accidentally used my magic comb on your hair, and that is why your hair vanished. But be rest assured that in a month's time, your hair will return in triple folds." In triple folds? Chisom shouted happily. She was confused and wanted to question Emu about her magic comb. But when she heard that her hair would return in triple folds, she greedily kept quiet and thanked Emu. Meanwhile, as she returned home, Emu whispered, "Look at her, stupid girl. No be only triple folds." The other maidens also saw Adama's long and beautiful braided hair. They praised Emu for always doing a wonderful job and headed to Emu's shop to also beautify their hair. The entire maiden beautified their hair in the hands of Emu except Uchechi, the maiden with the shortest hair, that was mugged. She didn't see the need to beautify her hair, so she didn't. Chisom always tied a scarf on her head whenever she wanted to go out. The other maiden questioned her about why she suddenly started hiding her hair, but she lied, saying it is a new recipe for long hair that she just found out, and they believed her. Soon, the town carrier went round the village announcing that the competition of the maiden with the longest and most beautiful hair will be held in a week's time, and of course this maiden will get married to the prince. The entire maidens were happy except Chisom. She was restless because of her bald head. 2 days after the competition was announced, the maidens woke up to their head bald, just like Chisom's head. So quick one, guys, if you want to learn how to tell your stories using AI images just like I do, click on the link on my bio after this story. Please, it is not free. All of the maidens, including Adama, the maiden with the longest hair, were shocked to see their bald head. They didn't understand what was happening. All of their long, beautiful and silky hair was gone. They all gathered at Emu's shop questioning what happened to their hair, including Chisom. Emu deceived the girls, saying it is a magical comb and their hair will return in triple folds on the day of the competition. The maidens were gullible enough to believe Emu, so they left her shop thanking her. But Chisom had a doubt, so she stayed back and had an argument with Emu. Emu, seeing that Chisom is suspicious of her, gave her a local cream to rub on her head on the day of the competition, and that her hair will be the longest, and Chisom left. The day of the competition came. The event was graced by several kings and queens from far and near. They all wanted to watch the maidens display their beautiful and silky hair, because it is only in Oma village that such long and beautiful hairs can be seen. The royal family of Oma village were on seats, including the prince, but they found it strange that all of the maidens were on scarves. They were supposed to showcase their beautiful and silky hair, but they were covering their hair. The king ordered them to open their scarves. The maidens did happily, thinking their hair will be back in triple folds, but they were all shocked to see the king standing up from his throne, shouting, "Where are your hairs?" The maidens were deceived by Emu. They thought their long and beautiful hairs would have returned in triple folds, but reverse was the case. They remained bald. The king shouted angrily, "Where are your hairs?" The maidens were shocked to see that their hairs haven't returned. They touched their head and found nothing, not a strand of hair. They busted out crying, wailing. They won't be able to get married to the prince. Adama was shattered. She lost her most beautiful and longest hair to Emu, all because of jealousy. The maidens all regretted their actions. The king was very angry and confused. The maidens have brought shame and disgrace to the village. They have ruined the tradition of the village. All of the king's guests looked at the girls with disgust. Their long and silky hairs was the main reason of their visit to Oma village, and now that they were bald, they weren't interested in the occasion, so they left angrily. The king was extremely angry. What really happened? He used to be so proud of the maiden's long and beautiful hairs, especially Adama's hair. He loved how silky and lush her hair was. So what happened? The king called upon Adama, the maiden with the most beautiful and longest hair, demanding answers. My king, we are very sorry. In our quest of wanting to be chosen as the maiden with the most longest and beautiful hair, we will get married to the prince. We let jealousy and competition get the better of us. Young girl, explain better and stop speaking in parables, the king shouted. Adama then revealed to the king how Emu deceived them and took all of their long hairs. The king was confused. How did Emu take away their hair? It is impossible. Does she have magical powers? The king wondered. He ordered his guards to bring Emu to him at once. The guards arrived at Emu's shop where they caught her about to run away from the village. They took her to the king. The entire villagers were present, including the bald maidens. The king questioned Emu, but she didn't give him an answer. She was quiet and showed no remorse, which angered the king more. One of the guards mistakenly stepped on Emu and she fell down. Her scarf fell down and it was seen by everyone that Emu is bald too. Ah! The maidens shouted. They all whispered amongst themselves, blaming themselves for falling prey to Emu's deceit. The chief priest warned Emu to confess to what she did to the maiden's hair, but she refused angrily. The priest blew a local powder to her face and immediately Emu started vomiting hairs non-stop. Kept vomiting the maiden's hair, different hairs, different colors and textures. The maidens were shocked. Emu was eating their hair all along. They were surprised. Emu screamed, saying, "It isn't my fault. You made me this way. You all turned me into a monster. I was never like this." It was then revealed that many years in Oma village, a baby was giving birth to bald. She had no hair on her head, which was strange because all of the babies in Oma village were born with long, beautiful and silky hairs. It was their gift from their gods. But this particular baby was bald. They waited for a year for this baby to have some hair on her head, but it didn't happen. The baby was later thrown into the jungle, ordered by the king. It is revealed that that baby is Emu, the hairstylist. She said she was given powers by the evil spirits in the jungle and she came back to take her revenge on the entire villagers. Emu was treated bad, but she shouldn't have taken her revenge in such a way, the villagers said. After confessing, Emu the hairstylist disappeared, laughing. The maidens all stared at their hairs on the floor. It was over for them. Their long, beautiful and silky hairs were gone, and they can never get married to the prince. Uchechi, the maiden with the shortest hair, became the maiden with the longest hair, despite her hair being short. She got married to the prince because she was the only maiden with hair on her head in the village, and the other maidens remained bald forever. The end.